Welcome to Studio Snack. I'm Lydia Thornley, designer, creative director and sketcher.
And I'm Narciso Leda, a well-travelled creative.
This month we look at snacks that are quintessentially English, or are they? We set a quiz and we talk about what this tells us in our creative work about influences and assumptions. For this one, we've even been on a field trip. So, Narcis, give me some English snacks.
The first one that comes to mind is fish and chips.
Surprisingly not. Fried fish was brought here by Sephardic Jews settling in England in the 17th century. Chip shop chips have been popular here for a long time, but the potato itself is a visitor from the Andes brought here in the 16th century.
Wow. Okay, what about ketchup?
17th century China.
What? Okay, beans on toast?
Baked beans, two theories, Native American or rooted in French cassoulet, and toast came from the Romans, originally used burnt to flavour bad wine.
Okay, I've got the English perfect snack, Marmite.
No, take a bow, Justus von Liebig, who invented it as a byproduct of brewing. Swiss-born Londoner Frederick Whistler turned it into the product we know now.
Okay, you're killing me. What about scones?
Well, they're Scottish. Early 1500s, originally the size of a plate, which is a snack I can get behind. So for our experiment, we thought we'd do a guessing game in the studio and on our Instagram.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much to who participated in the quiz. And let's have a look at the answers, shall we?
They're very insightful.
So the first question we were asking about sausage rolls, and we were asking whether they thought they were British, French or Austrian. 50% came and said that was they came from Britain, but as some of them they said they were Austrian, which is the right answer-ish.
They came from 19th century France using flaky pastry that originated in Austria. They became popular in the Napoleonic Wars and adopted as a British dish.
So the second question was twiglets. So we proposed the following answers: English, French or Black Forest in Germany. And I would have said it was British. And so most of our participants also thought that. And actually, I also thought the same, because Mr. Bean's episode of the twiglet is surely one of the most British things that you can ever see. And few of them, they thought they came from Black Forest, but very few thought that they were French.
Twiglets are Londoners, invented at the Peak-Friens biscuit factory in Bermondsey by a French biscuit maker.
Interesting. And the following question was about tea, and we asked them if they thought they came from England, China or India. And most people knew the right answer at this one, because a lot of people thought it came from India. Some of them as well, they thought it came from Chinese. No one thought it was coming from England. And actually, tea in the UK arrives through India, but the beginning of the story of the tea begins in China. So finally, we asked about Victoria Sponge, English, German or Greek. And that was a clear winner. Everyone thought it was English. And actually, what a relief, because it's English as a garden fete.
Though the sponge cake itself is another matter. So, what have we learnt for our creative practice, Narcis?
Well, I think that looking for ideas from outside the obvious, I think it's always a good way to start finding solutions. For example, there's a few hospitals that they inspired themselves on the Formula One pit stops to transfer people from the beds to the operation tables. And also the piano inspired the typewriter.
Some of them looked like pianos to start with.
Yes, actually. The other thing I take on this episode is that the graphic come from all over the world and has been an inspiration for most of us. Like, there's nothing that comes from one little place. Everything kind of gets a bit complicated, like the twiglets that they Londoners, but they're actually invented by a French. And finally, it's what I would say is that migration is a good thing, because it brings new ideas, it brings innovation and refreshes the genes and opens minds.
And that's been going on for centuries. Nothing is just from one place. Everything has a fascinating story to it.
Do you want a pretzel?
Yes, let's have a pretzel. Special thanks for this episode to the wonderful Museum of Migration in Lewisham. Check out our Instagram at We Are Studio Snack to see some of our pictures from our field trip, and if you had a chance, pop by. It's fabulous.
Join us next month for another studio snack.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.